Congratulations! You will meet the Grandmaster in 5 seconds. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. You are now meeting the Grandmaster.
So, there was a rumored from Daniel RPK. There was a Monica Rambeau series that was supposed to take place on Disney Plus. This is what Daniel had to say about it. He said a project for Tiana Paris, Monica Rambeau, was reportedly in the works at Marvel Studios. It got scrapped due to the Marvels underperforming at the box office. Her story will now continue in other MCU projects. And I'm going to be honest, before we get thoughts and get in here, I'm not mad I'm not as mad. I'm upset at the fact that, yeah, we could have gotten a Monica Rambeau story, or not just her story, but a series of whatever it would have been within the timeline. But I'm not upset that the series did not happen. And the reason I'm not upset, it's a mixed, I'm 50-50 on it, but I'm also not upset that the series didn't happen because which series has Marvel given us that's been good? Outside of the current 97 and WandaVision and Loki, for me personally, Marvel has not been able to deliver in a Disney Plus series. And I don't think with Rambeau they would have been able to deliver in a series either. What, a 6-episode series of us doing what with Monica? What was this series even going to be centered around? For me, this is too big of a character, one. And I know the MCU may have people fooled into who Monica really is. You saw her get her powers in WandaVision, and then you saw her play third fiddle in the Marvels film, second to Brie Larson, or third to Brie Larson and Amon Benali. But I make no mistake, their first mistake that they did with Monica was making her a child in the Captain Marvel film. Again, I know Marvel has fooled, regular MCU fans, but this woman held the title of Captain Marvel before Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, before Carol Danvers. She was the original Captain Marvel. She has many different aliases within Marvel, but she was the original Captain Marvel. So really, respect hasn't been put on Photon, Monica, Captain Marvel, whichever you want to call her, on her name since she's been in the MCU. So no, I didn't trust them to do a series. And I'm really glad that the series didn't happen, because if the series would have happened, yes, people are bitching, we were robbed. Were we? Are you sure we were robbed? Because what if we were seeing a different story? We get the series and we're on here saying, they're not respecting Monica. They got Monica doing this sidekick ass shit, blah, 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 blah. We're not even seeing her get her, that's what the conversation would have been, because that's the conversation with every Marvel series outside of 97. And maybe you have your issues with Loki and WandaVision, but outside of 97 and those other two, and again, that's just for me personally, that's the conversation with every series. That's the conversation with She-Hulk. That's the conversation with Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, all of them. And then on top of that, you were going to give her a series after Amon Benali series. Again, this woman held the Captain Marvel name first. Again, it's the MCU. I know they do their things their way, but no, I'm not upset that there wasn't a Rambeau series. And I think that it's a character, again, as strong and powerful as she truly is. That's a display that needs to be on the big screen. I don't know how you do Captain Marvel in a 6-episode series anyway. The effects and everything that come with we would have been pissed. You may be pissed that you got robbed, but you'd have been pissed. So that's just my thoughts on it.
I don't know. I'm glad you said all that shit, because I was hoping we wouldn't have to argue on this one, because I got happy hearing they weren't doing that shit. Because for what? The fuck do we need? Like, when I heard the exact words, continue to tell her story in other projects, I'm like, man, that's how we should be doing this shit all along. Not telling fucking 6 episodes. Like, if you wanted, they should have introduced Amon in a Captain Marvel movie or some shit at the end. She's some super fan, this and that. However, but like you said, Monica's way too big. I mean, there's even 6, 8, 10 episode. What is it? Like,
right.
At this point in her story, you've done nothing for even fans of Monica to enjoy what you've put on screen. So I doubt a random nigga who gives a fuck what she's doing on that Wednesday at 2 a.m.
That point. That point.
And so, I don't know. You pretty much said everything to say, but I was happy hearing they weren't going to do it because Monica, like you said, Miss Marvel at first, Captain Marvel at first. Not Miss Marvel, but I enjoy reading some things about Photon. Not my favorite character, but the things I read, never dislike anything about it. So what I do see on screen, I don't want to have to be like, oh, that series is ass or some shit. Like,
right.
We already got, like you said, playing third fiddle in fucking the Marvels and everything. And so, right. I don't know. I just hope them actually canceling the series leads to something better rather than them canceling the series leads to...
Right. Yeah, shelving.
Throw you up there for a minute on the shelf for some second.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. The Russos are really, I mean, I guess I'm just not confident in too many writers that are going to be able to put together all these heroes on a team in one movie and everything. Like, they're going to have to hire a team of writers and do this shit as a unit. From what I'm seeing from the Russos and shit, they might not be coming back or whatever and shit like that. So, I don't know. I don't know if we can get into the quote or whatever we were. I don't know if there was more on this, but I saw a comment that said Gray said no real origin story, no character development, just no respect to it. And it's like not even just Monica though. It's like a lot of these characters that have been brought in, Moon Knight, fucking
and I do want to
Eternals, Shang-Chi even. I mean, Shang-Chi was a good movie, but we should be seeing more.
Right.
Right. Even Bruce Banner, the Hulk, I don't like his real character, the real characters and stories that are behind the MCU. It's like, I don't know.
Right. I know normally we'll address comments after the video or after we give our thoughts and things like that, but I do want to address what Raymond just said there when he said, then why are we getting an Agatha series? And I completely agree with him. Now, don't get me wrong. As I've said, you've heard me say on this channel before, I like the magic and I love magic in the mystical side of things when it comes to Marvel or whatever, anything like that. So the magic side of things I do like a part about that. But I agree with you. Why are we getting an Agatha series? The only thing Agatha is serving a purpose of is just getting more Wanda. These are all side WandaVision stories.
But I mean, I don't know. It's like, because
to introduce Wiccan.
Yeah, but it's like we talked about this before, and it's like I don't think the idea of having TV series is bad if they did that. Like Daredevil, if Netflix's Daredevil seasons 1 through 3 were part of the MCU, like at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't just get added. If they do shit like that, that's good to have, like for characters that you can't really throw into these main stories all the time and stuff like that. And so it's just the way that they've brought like Echo. No one wants to see a 6-episode something about Echo that doesn't connect to anything.
Right.
But Kingpin, who's also only in another, like it has nothing to do with the main story. But it's like, if you had a main story that's going on that everyone's happy with, and then you have series going on while we don't have movies that are actually telling stories and not just 6 episodes and shit like that, then I don't think we'd have issues. But it's just the fact that the series have been bad.
Yeah, they have been.
That's really all it is, in my opinion. Like, if we were getting good series constantly, like WandaVision and Loki and X-Men 97, and then we got good episodes of What If, like actual interesting ass what if this happened, like, I don't think we'd have it, but the what if they're telling is what if fucking Captain, what is her, Peggy? Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, I don't
all
no one gives a fuck about it.
Yeah, no. And that's, so it's, with Agatha, it's only serving a purpose into telling further stories. That's all. Agatha, Vision Quest, Wonder Man, they are all stepping stones to Wanda. That is it. That's it. Vision Quest is going to get you closer to Wanda. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know Viz and or his kids are going to be in the show. I don't
nobody give them.
No one cares about Vision Quest. No one. I don't care to see what Vision has been up to since we last saw him in 2019. No. I don't care, or 2020, whenever it was. I don't care to see what Vision's been up to. Wonder Man, I've already told you my disdain with Wonder Man. I don't really care at all about that. And then for this Agatha series, the only thing Agatha's going to do is give us Wiccan, which is going to put Wiccan on the Young Avengers team. That is, yeah. So and again, I agree. The purpose, there is no purpose, because what are we telling here outside of, getting us to Wanda, or what Wanda's been up to, or, if Wanda still plays a key role in what they're trying to do in the multiversal saga.
I don't understand, you doing all this bullshit to get to Wanda. Nigga,
but does Wanda even still play a role?
No, nigga, just give us Wanda.
Well,
that's
that
all
too.
they want.
That too.
You doing all this extra shit. Just put Wanda on screen and tell some sort of story. On everything I love with the X-Men and mutants coming up, I'd rather watch Wanda and stories with them than fucking Vision and whatever they're trying to do with Vision, Wonder Man, and the Young. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's see. This is from Fandom Wire. They went on to say, Teyonah Parris Monica Rambeau was slated to get her own solo MCU series if it was not for the disappointing reception of Brie Larson's The Marvels. The character officially debuted on Disney Plus's WandaVision, though her first brief appearance was in 2019's Captain Marvel as a young Monica. As expected, fans' opinions of Rambeau getting her own show were divisive, with some excited to see her take the spotlight, with others pointing out how mundane the character is. And the character, again, this is why I said what I said at the very beginning. I know the MCU has made her mundane, has made her seem like she's not interesting, but this is why there's always that headbutting in these conversations when it comes to comic fans and simple MCU fans. And again, I'm not taking anything away from you because you didn't read a comic. What I'm simply saying is you got to step outside the MCU sometime if you want to know who some of these characters are. Don't just go to the MCU for source, or as a source material, as who the character is. She is not a mundane character at all. At all. This is one of the strongest characters in Marvel. And again, the respect that has not been put on her in the MCU is what you get why you got people calling her mundane. It goes on to say, Monica Rambeau was supposed to have her own solo MCU series. In a post from Nexus Point News, the page shared a scoop from known industry insider Daniel RPK that they planned a Monica Rambeau series and has been shelved due to audience's mediocre reception of the Marvels. And it's the quote I read there earlier. It says the character has connections with other Marvel heroes, so it's not a shocking revelation that her story will be picked up in another franchise. It looks like Rambeau thrives with a team. Okay. Interestingly, the character has previously received her own solo comic book story written by Eve L. Ewing. And if you want to know anything about that, you go either pick it up or you can go watch what Chill did. Chill covered the entire series, and I think those videos are still up on his channel. And illustrated by Michael Stahl. Maria, Monica Rambeau, Photon is the limited 5-issue series that brings an in-depth understanding of the hero. And then it goes on to say it's unclear whether the canceled show was going to adapt the story or not. Regardless, this is what Ewing said about the novel. She goes on to say it's such an honor to be taking on the story of a legacy character like Monica Rambeau. And I want to say that again, a legacy character like Monica Rambeau. Monica's character has a long history in the Marvel Universe, but she's always overdue for getting her own story told. Always. Last thing it says is Marvel fans aren't happy with Monica Rambeau starring in her own show. Okay, now these are, I guess, some people that weren't happy about her starring in her own show. Teyonah Parris was aware of the backlash the Marvels received when it premiered last year, though the actress did not let all that outside noise affect her confidence. She shared with IGN, I can't say that I really felt hate because we were in a very disconnected time. I was surrounded by people who were excited for me, people who wanted and were waiting to see me, and these other women get up here and kick butt. So I felt a lot of love. Indeed, this level of support is pretty much what she needs after fans' reactions to her planned solo series. Many believe it was unnecessary to give the character her own stage since she's not as popular as other MCU characters. Others were simply not interested to hear more of her story. Check out these tweets below. And again, this is what happens when you introduce the character the way that you introduce the character. You did not make Monica interesting enough in WandaVision. I mean, the power moments were interesting. When the bullet went through her, when Wanda, lifted her and she landed the superhero, that shit, okay, cool. Ooh, she's using her powers. But you didn't, it's just like fucking Echo. You did nothing to make people say, God, I want to see more of this character. So I've not seen what people have said, but someone said she's the most boring character in the MCU. Okay, all right, Lawrence Dystopia. That's that's a bitch. That's a stretch. She's not the most boring character in the MCU. Someone said her story shouldn't continue at all. Damn. This is one of the bad things about the MCU. In the old days, a flop would deliver a clear message and no sequel would be made. Now they won't make a sequel, but they will hamstring some other project with a pseudo sequel storyline. I agree with him. He's not wrong at all. But again,
I mean,
this is Marvel's fault.
Are we gonna take into account that Twitter hates Brie Larson?
Well, that too.
I'm not expecting any of this shit to be, unless it's a verified account or some shit. I'm not really expecting anything to be real.
Right.
I know I'm a hating ass nigga, but I be seeing some shit online, man.
And these people, like you said, they do hate Brie. Let me clarify that when I said he's not wrong. He's not wrong in what he's saying about Marvel, what they do with their projects.
Yeah, the pseudos.
Yeah, that's what, he's not wrong in that at all. Someone else said Marvel keeps making what fans didn't ask for. I mean, but we're
also not wrong.
No, also not wrong. This was also the reception with Echo,
I was gonna say a lot of these comments could be put under any character. I don't know if this is just
but this is Marvel's fault.
Whenever the Marvels came out,
this is their fault.
My thing is, I mean, how many characters do you expect to enjoy whenever they are or not enjoy? How many characters are you expecting oh my god, this is my favorite character ever? Whenever they're the third fiddle in a horrible movie, And I don't want to call the Marvels horrible because it's not Love and Thunder
It's
bad,
not. It's not.
But it's not it has good moments for sure. I'm not gonna lie. But Darvin,
Jesus,
one of the worst.
Oh my gosh,
villains, maybe the worst. I don't know. And so from that point of view, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just it sucks because, like we've talked about, there's so many stories to be told, and I want to, like you said, we don't touch on comments too often, but DC said Monica's family, where's Frank, should have never been tied to Carol's, but that's another big discussion, and it's boom. This is, Monica is a whole separate, that really shouldn't have been tied with Wanda.
No.
Shouldn't have been tied with the Marvels.
No.
Her, Frank, and everything about those Marvels should have been their own separate little thing and everything, but I completely agree with that.
You sidelined her story, her origin, and again, I can already hear it. Why is it always about race? But to elevate Carol Danvers and make her Captain Marvel when Carol did not hold that title first. I mean, so you made her a kid, and now this kid grew up to have mommy issues with Carol. You never called me. Why the fuck would Monica be worried about that? So it's just that, I don't know, that it's just the writing, the directions taken. That's why people are saying, what's this person say? That's why people are saying, I don't think her character is interesting enough yet. Them build her like they did Wanda. Exactly. I mean, almost a stroke reading it, but exactly. They need to build her like they built up Wanda, built up all these other characters, because she is, as Eve Ewing said, she is a legacy character.
But that's why it's a little bit of faith, because they're not doing the series, and how did they build up Wanda? Other movies.
Right.
And so hopefully that is what we're getting with Monica. But like you said, the people who complain, why is it always about race? I don't even look. Dude, it's like, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just showing you.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling you what's obvious. I mean, she is. I mean, it's another black hero that, again, her story is going to be told in other stuff, but another black hero that you had the chance to do. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this at all. Or am I saying this? You had the chance. You had the chance to do that $1.3 billion that you didn't expect to do. And I am saying this, that you didn't expect to do with T'Challa. Why? Because it's kind of what we talked about with the Black Panther and things like that. The black dollar sells. I mean, we'll look at us right now in election time. What are these people running for office banning for right now? The black vote, the black vote, the black vote. Why? Because the black vote is important. The black dollar is even more so important, because if the black community put their all into something, you can't. I mean, we culturally we inspire, with music, with fashion, with looks, with even with Black Panther. That was a cultural inspirational movement, not just in our culture, but there, as I've said many times, there were many little white kids. I was watching a TikTok the other day of a white little boy, maybe, I don't know, 6 or something like that, with his dad, had on a whole Black Panther costume. And like 4 or 5 of the videos, he had that costume on. It's like, so it's not just black kids that the Black Panther touched. So you had the opportunity to take Tiana Paris and elevate her into that same type of status of a character, to make people really understand who Monica Rambeau is, who the Captain Marvel is, the Photon, whatever name you want to use for her, and then really elevate that character. But you failed to do that, and that is why no one cares now. I mean, yeah, you can put her in other projects, but now putting her in those other projects, having her, and maybe this does lead to a solo film to where people actually, you build up enough care to where people, are interested in a solo film. But you could have done that with the beginning, but now you've got to do this long, hard legwork to get people to even give a fuck about the character. So, bravo, Marvel. I was going to say we don't have to keep reading the hate, but you guys let us know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is the Monica Rambeau series something that you really, and again, I do love the character. I love the character in comics. I think Tiana Paris does a good job of playing Monica. But again, do you think that that's something that we really needed in the current state of the MCU? Is, loving the character, but with logic, with that love, do you really think that they would have handled a series like that the way it should have been handled? And again, I don't think that she's not a series character anyway. But let us know all the stuff down below in the comments.